Welcome back. I'm Steve.
I'm Kev
Kinyons.
Woo! Welcome back to our channel, you guys.
I'll be like my Boba Fett shirt I bought at Disney World.
It's so cute. I feel like it's the first time you've worn it.
It might be.
He got it when he was in Florida by himself. I wasn't there with him.
Yeah, I was on a work conference.
Which actually brings us to our main topic of the channel today.
We're going to talk about how we got into Airbnb and we
Yeah.
love doing it in real estate in general.
We love it most of the time.
Good 93%
I feel like most people,
of the time.
Most people are just like, it's the best thing, you should do it.
Oh, I think it depends. I think everyone that has an honest opinion will say there's the good and there's like, it's anything that's fruitful. It's a high risk, high reward situation.
Yeah. Today we're just going to basically talk about how we got into Airbnb and how you can too if you're interested. First, we got married in 2013.
Yep.
When we got married, Steven's major number one goal was
I wanted a duplex.
to get a duplex.
Kefren is very against it.
Very against it. I don't even know why at this moment.
You were very against it.
I think he wanted us to live in it.
Well, that's a lot of people do. Like before Airbnb, the thing was if you wanted to get into real estate, you'd buy a duplex, and then you'd live in one side, and then have the other tenant pay off your mortgage.
Yeah.
And Kefren was very opposed to that.
We were in college, and it just didn't seem like the right thing. But now I regret it.
Kefren wanted a huge house out the gate, and she's like, "I will never live with peasants."
Anyway, you guys, the point of the story is that we were both in college. I knew that was Steven's number one thing. I knew we were gonna get a duplex.
So to make a long story short, I graduated in 2016.
Oh, and he was in finance and took a couple real estate classes.
Yep, took a couple real estate classes. I worked for a real estate, I interned for a real estate private equity business as well. So I really wanted to get into it. I have had a lot of people in my neighborhood and friends that got really successful doing really successful. Like one of them just donated like $10 million to Utah Valley University to have their name on the building. So they've done
we
very
had a
well.
lot of awesome mentors. And I worked with someone who was really into, at the time, us getting a duplex. He's like, it's the best way to do it. He had a couple duplexes.
If I could go back and do it all over again, I'd do a few things different.
Yeah,
but
maybe
we'll go back to the end.
We'll go back to that at the end.
So to kind of give you history, so I graduated 2016. My grandma bought this house for us to live in with my cousins. We helped take care of her while we'd save money for a house.
Yeah.
But we lived there for 2 years.
And we saved up for a down payment on a home.
Correct.
And we bought a home, and the number one thing for Steven was that it had a walkout basement.
Yep, so you could rent it out or Airbnb it.
And it did not have a kitchen.
Didn't have a kitchen, but I mean, we bought this house is from the 1960s.
Yep.
Like it hadn't been remodeled at all.
It's
Maybe
so
in the
cute.
70s it may have, but that was like the last time it was remodeled.
There was wallpaper everywhere, wood paneling, the whole
like
thing.
really fluffy, like 1970s carpet. We recarpeted it, repainted
Yellow
it.
walls.
We got a lot of hand-me-downs from like family. Like my parents got a new living room set. We grabbed their old living room set, plopped it in
We
there.
took as much as we could from family as possible.
We had like office
did we
furniture
start-
from Kefren's old job that they gave away.
Did we start right away with the Airbnb in the basement?
We moved in June. I think we got going by the fall. We had my dad's friend Todd live for a couple to kind of beta it.
So Steven was adamant that we do Airbnb in the basement, and I was like, "Who's gonna want to come to our house?"
We lived in a suburb north of Salt Lake City called Bountiful.
It's in this random city, and I'm like, "Who the heck would
old
want to
house?"
Come? But Steven demanded that we do it, and so we freaking equipped the whole basement to sleep 10 people.
Yep, we had like our parents' old pull-out couch. We bought bunk beds.
Yep.
We used her old bed.
We got a bunk bed
bunch
from
of hand-me-downs.
Walmart.
Yep.
It was a ton of hand-me-downs. My old bedroom set is in one of the rooms.
Yeah, and like old furniture from family. Like this is a good way to get started if you want to bootstrap the experience.
Yeah.
And that's what we did.
Basically, we added like a mini fridge and a microwave for people, and a coffee maker for people who wanted to do the bare minimum.
There was a washing machine down there though.
Oh yeah, there is a washing machine.
And ended up paying our mortgage the first.
It paid our mortgage for several
we
years.
weren't making tons. I think we probably made $20,000 the first couple of years, but we were like renting the basement for like $50 a night.
Yeah, it was
with
really
like a $30
inexpensive. But that's like really inexpensive for 10 people.
Yeah.
To sleep. That's a steal of a deal.
I think you can do like minor fees here and there if they have a lot of people, but still, it's still a deal.
Yeah.
Right.
So we noticed that a bunch of people would land in Salt Lake City and they would drive to our house and either spend like 1 or 2 nights and then they'd go off to like a national park.
Yeah, well, there's lots of different scenarios. People would come see family. They'd want to stay in Salt Lake. It was cheaper there than going to a hotel.
Yeah.
There's no cities or there's no like hotels in the area where we're like really close.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, there's lots of different scenarios.
Yeah.
But essentially what we found out is even though we weren't like a tourist destination, there was a demand.
Yeah. It was interesting. Steven and I would go during our like lunch hour and we would clean it.
Yeah, for the next guest.
Yeah, for the next guest, because we would always have like same day check-in, check-outs, and it was wild.
And our cleaning fee was only like $30, so we couldn't like, I mean, that's how much people want an hour now to clean a unit. So it's like we had to go and clean it ourselves.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Or we'd be underwater, right?
We did that for a while, and then how many years did we do it?
Did it 2 years, COVID hit, and then the opportunity arose to get another one. We had enough for a down payment on the next house, and so we bought one a few blocks away.
Yep.
And we did the whole thing there. It was...
Yeah, we did the whole thing, and we remodeled a bunch of stuff.
Oh yeah, we had to add in, we wanted it to be really equipped for a large group. So there's like 2 kitchens, there's 2 washer dryers.
Yeah, so this one has 2 levels. It has a kitchen in the basement and a kitchen upstairs.
Garage, walk-in basement still.
Yeah, we did that one.
Yep. We had our son that fall. So we literally bought this house. Kefren gave birth like 2 weeks later after we closed.
Yeah, we did not know that I was going to give birth. I was supposed to be pregnant for 2 more months.
So I did a lot of the rehab and stuff.
It was a lot. It was a big life adjustment, and...
But we got it done, and we're better for it.
We did. So...
and we bought it at the right time, too, so...
Yeah.
And while all this is happening, you know, I'm working at a 9 to 5 still, so is Kefren.
So am I.
We're both grinding. We're getting promotions along the way, which allows us to not only get more leverage in our loan types, or our loans, or increase our debt to income ratio, or improve on it, right?
Yeah.
Plus, we're making income from
other side hustles.
Side hustles, like I do food blogging, and then
Steven is all about the side hustles. Yeah. Basically, he learned that a millionaire
has 7 streams of income. The average millionaire has 7 streams of income.
And so Steven became obsessed with that.
Yeah.
And that's like basically what you're obsessed with.
Yeah, I like doing that.
So, so that was like your number 1 priority, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to not work for other people, or at least have the financial freedom to do what I wanted in my life.
Yeah.
Or the flexibility.
Yeah.
Right.
So we did that, and then how was it a year later?
So about about that in July, we closed. So we needed to upgrade it into a bigger house.
Yeah.
The house we were in, I mean,
we could have stayed there and like just used the basement.
It was just snug.
It was very snug, you guys.
We wanted there was still opportunity to buy with interest rates low. We wanted to buy a bigger house that was more remodeled and ready to go. Yeah. And we were planning on growing our family too. Yeah. Because we couldn't, I mean, it would have been really impossible to grow our family even more. It would have been.
Yeah, it would have been really hard.
Like.
If we had stopped Airbnb in the basement, though, it would have been.
Fine. But we wanted to grow our real estate portfolio. So we went and bought another house using the same model, rinse, repeat. We're saving money from the incomes we're getting, or getting promotions on our other jobs, things like that. And so we bought another house about 20 minutes north of where we lived before. Yep. And
so now basically we have 3 homes in a 15-minute, 20-minute radius.
Yep. So it gives us the ability to
manage them by ourselves, which is a big deal. It doesn't, if you have to use a management company, that they take a lot of your fees. We've also finally upgraded to have a cleaning company do all of our turnovers.
Yeah, it's just... it was just, I mean, obviously us cleaning 3 different units just wasn't possible. Yeah. Especially with a kid and...
Oh, and we didn't say that this current house also has an Airbnb in the basement.
Yeah, so can
you tell that Steven really likes Airbnb?
I mean, it's a nicer house.
It is really nice.
It's new.
It's a lot bigger.
It's a lot bigger, and we can walk you through the basement and show you the listing. Yeah. But essentially, that allows us to afford the house, too, because we wanted to get a significantly bigger house, and the only way we would be able to afford it is if we offset the mortgage with...
downstairs.
Right. And so, but it's nice. The nice thing about Airbnb too is though always the basement. If we want to have a party, or we can cut it off at any time or block it.
Yeah. If we want to have the basement, we can just block it off and be like, this is our whole house.
Where if you long-term rent it, you're never, unless there's something they want you to come in to fix something, you're never going to see it. Right.
And when we bought this house, it's nice because the backyard has like a wheelchair accessible ramp. So it's all very nice and set up. And the whole thing was remodeled, so we didn't have to do anything, which was huge.
It's very aesthetically appealing. They definitely cut corners in the flip.
They definitely cut corners, which is really annoying.
But overall, I think we got, in a hot market, we got probably a $20,000 discount. So.
Yeah, it was amazing.
So
it was all really meant to be.
Yeah, it was. I'm already ready to move, though.
Steven's already ready to move.
Yeah. We're in Utah, obviously. We got sick of... Well, I think the market got too expensive. I mean, when you make buys, they have to pencil out where you make money, or it doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
But also, we wanted to be a little adventurous, and I love Florida.
Yeah, and we love
Catherine
Disney.
loves Disney, and so we wanted to make the move to... We not move, but buy a property in Florida.
Yeah.
And so...
It was very nerve-wracking for me.
It was. I mean, it wasn't... Why was it so nerve-wracking?
Just because it was something that we've never done before. Like, it's out of the state. We're not near it. Like... I usually take care of all of the Airbnbs, you know, so it was like a control issue.
I mean, yeah, if this was our first rodeo, it would have been a lot more anxiety driven, but we knew the experience.
We know everything, like backwards and forwards, basically, by this point.
Yep.
So we were really excited.
So a few things that's really cool, at least in the Orlando area. Like in Utah, we run everything. Like there's no HOAs or anything. Like we do everything ourselves. There's specific areas that are zoned for short-term rentals in Florida.
Yeah.
Like, you can't have long-term rentals, and they'll have like a community pool and like lazy river, arcade.
Yeah.
And so we found this area that it's a whole ultimate experience. It's close to Disney and Universal.
Yeah.
There's pools, there's, game room, activity rooms, there's a gym.
Yeah.
And so it was just like, man, this
there's
is
like
awesome.
A restaurant there.
It's like a little restaurant. Yeah. So it's super cool. Clubhouse.
Yeah.
Awesome community. And so it's like, it just made sense. Obviously with us being, 2,000 miles away in Utah, we needed to have some sort of property manager or cleaner to help us out. We found a good one. You can find ones that don't do the whole, so typically how a lot of these property managers work, some of them will say, hey, we'll run the whole thing for you. But we get 20 to 30% of the revenue.
Yeah.
Which is a lot. And if you're not making money, then you're really underwater, right? But
yeah.
we were able to find one that would be managers for us and clean. They do charge a lot, but we're not charging as much as running it for us, which we can do. It's very easy for us to communicate and plug in dates.
So what he means by that is like some property managers literally do your Airbnb for you. Like they manage
the communications
with all of your people. They do everything. They even market it for you basically.
Yeah.
But we don't feel like we need to do that since we're so used to it. So like I send all the check-in, check-out messages. We send everything. All the correspondence is between me and the person.
Yeah.
There isn't a middleman. But say there's a problem, we can call our property manager and they'll get there that same day and fix whatever needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
So
that's the experience.
Okay, so we bought this third house, and then how many was it? Less than a year.
So we closed in April. We closed in April of 2021. Then we closed in March of 2022.
Okay, so almost a year after. Mm-hmm. We really hustled hard.
So a lot of it came into luck. So we bought the first two houses like right at the right time because now they've appreciated so much in this crazy housing market.
Yeah. So
that's good. Same with this one. All of them we bought at the right time, and interest rates were really low. So penciled out. Right now, I can't say there's still always opportunity out there, not as much as there was before.
There really isn't.
So I've looking at a few different properties, but the financial interest rates are higher now. So we're having a tougher time landing that next opportunity. But I have a few different strategies in place.
We were hoping to get one this year. I don't know if it'll for sure happen this year.
I'm gonna make it happen.
But okay, so if we could go back and do it, I'm not sure that it really matters because none of us can. But if you're like a young couple and you're wanting to start out,
you're not sure if we can go back in time?
No, we can't go back in time.
Oh, you said I'm not sure, so you thought there might be a shred of a chance.
Oh, no, I'm saying I'm not sure if we should even discuss what we would have done differently because it's not possible.
No, I mean, people that are at our time. So it is what I would have done different. So
we would have
I was under the assumption you had to bet 20% down to be a first-time home buyer, which is not true. And
it's not true at all.
At the time of this video,
it scares you into it. I feel like.
Yeah, and that's the stupidest thing. You can get obviously you want to make sure you're penciling it out, but the first-time home buyer at the time of this video, you can get a house for 3 to 5% down.
Yeah.
And so,
especially if it's your first home.
Yeah, and so you can get 5% down several times if it's your primary home.
Yeah.
But then you can just Airbnb the basement or rent the basement, whatever.
Correct.
Right. And that's for a single family home, like a primary residence.
So like if we went back to 2013, we had enough money to do 5% down easily.
Yeah,
like we were so dumb. We should have done that immediately. We should have gotten like a townhouse or something.
What we were paying in our rent, we could have been our mortgage for our townhouse.
Yeah.
I think there's townhouses for like 160 grand back in
a lot of people are just throwing their money away at rent, and it's not helping them at all.
Yeah. And then if you're able to, obviously when you get in real estate, there's a lot, I'm not a CPA or a financial advisor, but like there's huge tax advantages to owning real estate that's not your primary unit. And then you can write off things, you can depreciate things.
Yeah.
And so that's what makes it really nice.
Yeah, like car payments, gas, blah, blah, blah.
Well, I mean, not those specific. That's a specific. Ask your CPA about that. You have to count mileage, or it depends.
Steven gets nervous.
Yeah.
But yeah. So there's tons of tax write-offs that you can use.
Lots of So
what other things would you have
the
done
government
different?
wants you to own real estate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would have bought earlier, and I just would have if I would have done that process and been as educated, we probably have
5 more.
Conservatively, at least 3 to 5 more.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of a bummer.
It is.
But we're still doing great.
We're still super blessed.
Look at how beautiful. And look, our cleaner just messaged us, so I'm going to pause it really fast. Okay, sorry about that. So those are the things we would do differently.
Yep.
I thought maybe we should do a different video, or we can talk about horror stories here.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Let's talk about pros and cons really quick.
Okay, yeah.
Pros and cons, like, if you remember, it's a
pros and
risk
cons versus long-term rental versus Airbnb.
I would say what are the awesome things about Airbnb and what are the cons?
Okay,
that's what we've done, right?
Okay.
We can do long-term rental too because we've done that well.
Yeah.
So pros, I would say historically
it pays your mortgages.
Historically, you make more money.
Yep.
I mean it also depends on location.
Than a long-term rental.
Yes, because you get people. Yeah. But it is more maintenance, right?
Lots more maintenance.
So you have to be able to clean. You have to be able to keep things always looking sharp and tidy. Other cons: so more money, better location.
Better location.
Not better location. Sorry, more. But so you can use your house when you want if it's like your own thing, right? Or if it could be a vacation house like Florida, like we can go use, right?
Yeah.
Cons. This could be the same for long term. You can always get bad people. They can destroy something. They could affect your neighbors.
Yeah.
Right. Other cons, Kev.
I'm trying to think.
And that's a big one.
It is a big one. People are the worst.
And if you're not okay with strangers being in your home.
Oh yeah, I was going to talk about that. So like when we started out, I didn't have my baby yet. So I felt pretty comfortable being alone there without Steven and having people in our basement. But now it's kind of a different story. Like I get freaked out easier because now we have 2 kids. And it's just a little bit more stressful. Like we have to be more quiet when people are here. What else? I'm always afraid they're going to come up and stab me.
Kept really trusted them.
You know, just things like that.
Well, there's that thing with Airbnb. There's always winners and losers out in the world. Like, and we've been able to mitigate. Like when we first started Airbnb.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking we should talk about the horror stories now or later.
Let's talk about horror stories.
Okay, so when we started out in
2018.
2018. We did not really know the rules. And
we hadn't figured it out.
And so we had several homeless people spend the night.
Yeah, and they were sketchy.
It was very sketchy, you guys. When I say it was sketchy, it was really sketchy.
And then we learned like there's some rules and parameters you can put in place to prevent these people.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now from
from all of our experience.
From personal, like if there's a local person day of that's like I need to get an ASAP, there's a good chance that
they're up to no good.
Yeah, they're up to no good.
So
not saying all of them are that way, but like
I would say
from our experience, this is how
it's almost 10 out of 10. I'd say.
I would say it's
So you really have to be careful and vet but you can put in place like the parameters that you want for who you accept.
So what happened? So there was a rule. How this happened is if you want to be better placed in the algorithm, you put instant book where you don't have to approve them. So these people would just put instant book. These homeless people would book instant day of, and we can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Right?
Like some would book it like at 8:00 at night, and we'd be like, "Oh crap, we've got to go." You know, like we have to go clean it.
Yeah.
But we've taken like
there's
that
now
off.
There's like no, we have instant book, but there's like a rule where like if it's within 20 a certain time period, you still have to approve it. So if like they want an instant book for today, you have to approve it still.
Okay, I see.
Right.
So yeah, it was really
that
bad.
literally solved the problem overnight.
Yeah, it did. But we kept doing it for like probably 6 months.
Well, we didn't figure it out. It was probably good at least 6 months.
And so we had some very sketchy people.
Yeah, we had some sus people.
We won't go into detail.
Yeah.
Unless you're dying.
I'm just saying I'm not saying all local people day of.
No, we're saying all local.
No, we've had some good people that not local, but like people. We've had great people day of, but like local people day of, like they're typically up to no good.
Yeah. So, the pros obviously outweigh the cons. We just can't name them all. But
there's things you can do to mitigate though. There's things in place.
Yeah.
And of course, with any as you go, if it's something you guys decide to do, feel free to reach out to us.
Yeah, we'd love to chat with you.
But always know you need to always do your research on your end. I will not do that for you. Do your city code. Look at your city code to see if it's possible. Do the financials, see if it pencils out.
I will say, it can be a very high stress situation.
Yeah.
And luckily we work pretty well together. But like what happened the other day? The other day I was like, I want to sell all of our houses.
Yeah, we had a really bizarre get. You're always gonna like.
People are just really weird, and some people expect higher quality, like they expect a Four Seasons when you're staying at like
a 1960s house.
Yeah, you're staying in a 1960s house.
Yeah.
So, and for really cheap.
Yeah.
Like you're getting a 3-bedroom, laundry room, full kitchen, parking. You know, all this for like
subscriptions to like Netflix and
for like literally nothing, and you would be paying a crap ton at a hotel with nothing.
5 to 10 people, you're paying $100 to $150 a night.
Yeah. Anyway, basically the water heater broke.
And then these guests like decided to move our beds all around different directions.
Moved all of our beds. It was just really bizarre. Yeah, so they complained a lot, and so I was like, you know what, Steven, I'm done. Let's sell all of our houses. I can't handle this anymore.
No, keep in mind, she's only a month out of being pregnant, so her hormones are just flying everywhere.
Okay, but seriously, I'm just saying that it can be like we're making it seem like it's pretty easy, but there's a lot of stress that goes into it.
Yeah, and you have to. One thing I would recommend is even if you decide to, like, if you buy a house, you want an Airbnb portion of it, like, you be prepared to know that some months you might have to cover it yourself with your own income.
Totally.
Unless you're like in a really
cush situation.
Yeah, right? Because like, for example, this house now, it's January at this time of this video, like we haven't had anyone all month, which is fine because Kef likes that and we can cover it. But it's like, if you're expecting...
but like last year, we also didn't have anyone in January. We lived near an amusement park and people like to come here in the summer and fall when it's open. And I'm fine with that, obviously. But, yeah, you need to do your research, figure out if there's going to be lulls in your season.
Yeah. And yeah, so just make sure, and there's lots of different softwares and websites out there that will give you historical data on how things do.
But some of them aren't super accurate, so you've really got to do your research.
Yeah. One thing that it's made it work, like if you are a single person, unless you have really strong willpower, it'd be harder. The thing that's made it successful for us is, like Kef said, we really work well together. We are a team, we're a partnership, we do this together. Yeah. And it's made it as successful as it is. Yeah,
we work really hard.
So
we like every Sunday we like figure out who's going to be at our houses. We figure out this cleaning schedule. You know, there's a lot that goes into it.
There is. And then, you know, we say there's a lot that goes into it, but once you get things spinning, like, unless there's something we have to actually do ourselves or things go wrong, like we probably don't spend more than a couple hours a week. Oh,
but I will say, like, for one of our other houses, we had like this year, 2022.
So this is 2023 now.
Yeah. Last year was our year of maintenance. Like, basically all of our houses just kept breaking down. And so...
I mean, we had to put probably 50 grand of our own money into these houses for remodeling. We did really well last year. It was our best revenue year, but we still lost money because we had to put in a sewer line. We had to replace couple furnaces. We had to replace a couple water heaters.
But what I was gonna say, you guys, is that we were on the way to the hospital for me to deliver our child, and Steven was on the phone with the heater guy because we had to replace the heater. Was it for this house or the other? It was the other house.
Yeah.
So I'm just telling you that it can be stressful, because that's a little bit stressful.
But I mean, let's be real. Like life
is hard anyway.
Unless you're a trust fund baby, like, which we've known some. Like your life, I mean, you're not.
It's still hard. Yeah. Even if you're a trust fund baby, it's still hard. Life's hard. But yeah, it's always an exciting situation. Every time the Airbnb app goes off, I always wonder, oh, is it good or is it bad? But I would say 9 times out of 10, it's always good.
Yeah, for sure.
Our Florida house has only gotten 5-star reviews, and we've had probably 50 reviews.
We've probably had 20.
20? That's it?
I know, but yeah, it seems like not everyone leaves a review too.
Yeah, not everyone leaves reviews. So yeah.
Probably had 50 people. I know, maybe not that many, but
it seems like we have, but maybe not. Anyway, long story short is we feel very lucky to have all these Airbnbs.
Yeah, we bought it at the right time. We wish we went sooner, but it is.
Yeah.
But we've learned. So learn from our lessons.
Also, we're thinking about doing arbitrage.
Oh yeah, there's one thing that's really popular now called Airbnb arbitrage. So you don't need to actually own property. What a lot of people are doing, and people are making millions of dollars doing this. But you can go out and find a rental in like a good area. So like we're in Utah, so Park City like is a
prime example.
You have to get permission obviously from the landlord, but you'll go and you'll furnish it and just make sure your numbers pencil out. They'll make money on Airbnb it compared to just living in it or renting it. Right?
Yeah. So we're kind of thinking about doing that maybe, but yeah, there's a lot of things. We can get into more if you guys are interested, but let us know in the comments if you have any questions. Do you have anything else to say? We love it.
Most of the time.
He's very enthusiastic right now, so.
No, well, I do love it. It's good, right? Obviously, I'm like frustrated right now because I want to buy more, but just the market's so bad. So we're figuring that out.
Steven gets frustrated. Let us know if you have any questions, and thanks again for watching. And
here's our links to our properties if you want to check them out.
Yep, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye. Cheers.